Hello.
Hello. I brought you a gift. I say it's a gift.
A gift.
It's something for me, but I think you'll actually appreciate it more.
Great. It's about time. Thank goodness for that. Do they know the story about this?
But you can tell them.
Right.
Brian, can you pass me the Milwaukee, please?
So, as you've probably seen in many videos, me using this, thinking that it's like a normal impact gun, that when you put a socket on the end, it stays on the end. But no, because it's Tommy, there's nothing on the end. So what happens is, you go like this. Oh wait, I'll just take that off. Gone. How long have I actually went on at you about this before?
Do you want to honestly know?
There's been action.
Do you want to honestly know how long that's not had that?
How long?
Since the third day of me owning that impact gun, when it mangled and fell off. And that's why I never bought a replacement, because I'm like, well, if it's just going to mangle after 3 days, there's no point in putting another one on. But just because it's you, and just to shut you up, I was like, right, we'll get one. Interestingly, it's still got the wee rubber bit. I think we can reuse that wee O-ring.
Don't even.
How you might get this off? Can we get a YouTube video up? Hi guys!
It's a Stanley blade.
Welcome to my video on how to fit Milwaukee O-rings. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
He's gonna get so much hate for that.
Aye, from everybody who's like, that's actually how I start my... To be fair, I'm gonna get hate from people who've got like 150,000 subs, and it's like, this is actually what you need to do. Bearing in mind, your channel only has 5,000 subscribers.
So you can tell Tommy's in a really good mood tonight. We've had to deal with this for hours.
Well, do you want to know what's interesting about that? Doesn't fit. Didn't worry about falling off, Daniel.
This is how not to fit.
It's too big.
A Milwaukee.
No, I don't hear that much at all.
How not to fit a circlip.
So that's not going to fit.
Why did you ditch the O-ring?
Fucking did you?
That's over there. That's gone. That is gone. Right. Like, subscribe. I hope you enjoyed that.
Tune in for more handy tips.
Yeah, that's exactly how you fit that.
Aye.
Well, that sounds fucking shit. Agreed, the exhaust sounds absolute garbage, but there's also an ulterior motive here. Like we said, it's the winter list, so I'm looking for as many horsepower gains as I can find. And a first and most obvious one, without even touching the engine, is catalytic converter, the old classic get the cat out and free some ponies. Now, there's obviously issues with this, and I'll say that we're only doing it for the race days, so I need to make up a separate exhaust. I legitimately need to make a separate exhaust because this car will always have to go through a legitimate MOT, so I need to have an interchangeable exhaust system that can go back on for all those times that I'm not on track that I then need to go for an MOT with as well. So this must be retained, but we can modify it slightly as long as the adaptability matches the new exhaust. So the standard MX5 exhaust system measures in at a little over 2 inches in diameter, which is sufficient for a standard 1.8 engine, but we're not going to be having a standard 1.8 for much longer. So I want this to breathe a bit better. Now, the obvious solution to that is to go up to 2.5 inches and get rid of this boy. Now that's fine. However, I still need to think about the manifold, and I'm not going to touch on the manifold quite just yet. So it has to mate to this flange, which is the downpipe collector. You can see it goes from 2 just along here into 1. This is where the new system is going to kick off from. Now I can just about stretch this 2 inch out to a 2.5 and retain the original flange. So that means I can keep this and put a new exhaust on with the same flange. Whether or not it gives me a lot of performance gains is probably up for debate, but it's certainly not going to hurt. Plus it means that when we do put a nice manifold on it, it's going to be ready to flow out for the rest of it. However, I also need to consider what we do for the rest of the flow. So as you can see, a standard MX5 comes out and does this whole 180-degree bend into a really nasty big back box and then another 90-degree bend out. We can improve that. Naturally, we're making this exhaust from scratch, so I've had to buy some raw materials. Now, I want to maintain a 2-box system just to keep the noise down, because I'm not a yobbo. So we have, as follows, 1 centre box, as such, nice, long, hopefully will quieten things down quite a considerable amount. 2 metres of long, straight, 2.5mm stainless tube for the straight bits, necessary flanges to step it up and mate it onto the original downpipe, a V-band flange so that I can actually detach the centre section from the back box section and get it through the subframe bit at the rear without causing too much drama, 2 meters of 8mm thick stainless rod in order to make hangers with, a wide selection of mandrel bent bends for various little movements we need to make in the exhaust, and of course the back box. Now I know this is stumpy, but I quite like this sort of motorbike can design, plus being downward swept will actually help to quieten the noise down a bit. And I think it'll look pretty natty. Certainly it'll look different. But the idea here is to make it as straight as humanly possible. We don't want these big 180-degree bends that will hamper performance. So all going well, this should hopefully make it quiet enough with 2 boxes and improve performance quite a considerable amount. So before we get into welding and fabrication, I want to get a test fit in this just to see what the volume levels are going to be like. I have rigged this up in a fashion that more or less will be the route. Don't get me wrong, we've got some tidying to do obviously, but what this will allow me to do is jump up in the car, fire up, and see if it's going to be obnoxiously loud or not. So let's give that a go. And I think we all know what the answer is going to be. I mean, I'm not offended. I don't actually have to raise my voice. It's not really that loud at all. But the big question is on the big revy rev. Right, so that doesn't work. That was terrible. I have a plan B though. This guy I bought because it was going to replace the Resin 80 Supra back box, but it turns out, despite being sold as a 3-inch, it's only a 2.5-inch. Go figure. So let's see if we can possibly get some extra silencing with a bigger box. Now naturally this will take a bit more effort to find a home for, but here's hoping it will actually bring the volume down. Spicy mince. There's going to have to be a plan C here. That's too loud as well. So I'm going to just put the old system back on now because I'm out of time tonight. And I don't know if maybe there's room for a sports cat, which might also add noise reduction. But for the moment, we are 100% back to the drawing board. It works. So it's been a week and we have now moved on to plan C because clearly none of the boxes I've bought are going to be any level of not obnoxious.
This is true.
Sports cat.
Sports cat.
Now, you may think, weren't we going to delete the cat? Yes. However, what a sports cat is the same as a normal cat, but with just an amount less of actual...
Yeah, the honeycomb spacing's much bigger. So it shouldn't be restrictive.
Yeah.
And...
it might pass emissions.
It probably will pass. It will, but it should pass. And also, you don't get the hassle of
not having a cat. Yes, this will solve a lot of the issues, including having to think about keeping the old exhaust on because, well, we've still got a cat, so why bother keeping it?
Yeah.
So, quick chat on cat. This is a 200 cell. If it's a 400 cell, it's got more in there, which means it's more restrictive. This is also a ceramic cat. It's cheaper. Metallic cats actually have more precious metals in them, which do a better job, but they are also...
and they've rocketed in price.
They've rocketed in price, and I'm still not entirely convinced they are any good, because whilst things rocket in price these days, that doesn't necessarily mean they're still the good things. They might still be the crap things, but folk are just scalping the prices on it.
I mean, I've got a 100 cell metallic one.
Yeah.
In the Primera's exhaust, but at the time they were so cheap that it didn't matter really. Whereas now it's like
those days are gone.
They're like over double the price.
Yeah, I mean this, to be fair, was 40 quid, which isn't a lot of money, but that's because it is the poor quality one, but it'll do the job. I think I have also, because of f***ing Hermes, ordered another one and it's a metallic one, and that was 150 quid.
Yes.
And I'm still not convinced it's going to be good. But we'll kick off with this in the interim, and it means I've got a spare metallic one if this turns out to be absolute garbage.
Yeah.
So
the main reason for this is a silencer.
yeah,
To be honest.
Yeah, my reason is I need it to shut up more, and I'm not putting the 3 boxes in, and I really want the boxes that are in there to be on it because they're quite compact and they work well.
For its size, this is probably the best noise reduction that you'll get.
So is a turbo, but
The turbo as well also is very good at that.
we're not putting a turbo
doing
on
that.
it. I'm not putting a turbo on it.
We're also changing where it comes out because it coming straight out the back on the left side is not acceptable.
It is acceptable.
It's not in any way, shape or form acceptable.
Right, so we're going to vote on this as well. Daniel thinks it has to come out the original spout hole in the bumper.
Yes.
We'll see how much steel I've got.
There's more than enough. I have a saw that cuts metal. We will pie cut bends if it means that we can put it out the correct side.
Right, we've put on a flange. Now that's a 2.5, as you can see on the 2.25. Clear difference, but we will get a seal on it when there's a gasket.
That's to be continued.
Aye, we'll get
That's
to it.
another thing.
But the problem is, as you can see, looking straight on the car, that has a angle. Now, I have many angles, but none of them are 22 degrees,
The wrong angle.
which is what that angle needs to be. So in order to get us starting off in a straight line, we're going to pie cut. Ardent low-cost viewers will remember the wee table version of this that takes a 4-inch blade. Probably not going to be good enough for big exhaust work, so let's get the big exhaust
So if you
work
imagine, I've used this a lot of times, it's very, very good. If you imagine, remember the old school ones you used to get, it was a big massive, it was just a massive grinder,
Yes.
basically, a big massive cutting disc, and the problem with them is they just kind of melt their way through the pipe. This is a cold saw, so if you look, it's got
teeth.
some teeth. But it spins way slower, so the idea is you don't just
Batter your way through it.
It's not big, so
So we're going to pie cut, so we're going to do 2 cuts at what, 7.5
7.5, is it not?
we did. So we've set our angle up. We're going to rip through some steel, do a couple of tack welds.
Only thing that's annoying I don't have for this is I don't have
An actual tube.
I don't have a tube coupler, but I might just end up making one.
But it'll do for now.
But it's fine for now.
Yes, let's cut. Everything has to be reversible. Let's not go and destroy the car to put the exhaust on. What have you just suggested?
No, we need to get into this, don't we? Realistic.
Do we though?
Realistic. Well, to go with it, I mean, look.
Christ, man,
Look,
that's a
how-
bit.
Well, your theory was this.
Right. That wasn't my theory. It was a working idea.
Right, so that idea gets put in the
I know it's not
idea-
going to right. Aye, I get that.
That is a bit naff.
Why is that a bit naff?
It's just a bit.
It's just there, isn't it?
And then we have to. But the problem is we're looking for flow here.
I know, it's going to be a big 90
98
degree.
followed by another 90 is not
Right.
flow. So we're gonna. Oh no. So we'll just get rid of that, and then we're gonna do a wee kind of.
So the wee cant suggested a wee cant. We're basically slicing off big chunks of my car to make an exhaust work.
Listen, this is not how I would have done it. But
Well, how would you have done
well,
it?
we're limited to what we could do here. So
Oh, right, okay. So that's getting cut. Oh well.
you can see where the theme's going here, though.
I mean, I'm not against it because it's not like I'm going to be towing things with my
no, and
MX5.
you've got another.
Yeah, we'll get hold of a gravel trap somehow. It's went together well, and it's looking quite pro. We've got a nice wee V-bandy slip joint there to
Yeah, so we can get
disconnect
this
it
off because that's
over
the
that
kind of
bit.
key thing here has been able to actually remove the exhaust.
Because it's going to be removed and danielled. This is all going to get TIG welded. It's all been just tacked. We've got our sports cat. Nicely
Pie cut
mounted.
there.
Wee pie cut. That'll all get welded up as well. But yeah, it's 2.5 all the way back.
Yeah.
It's getting there.
The thing to note here is this is just stainless MIG wire.
Yeah.
So when we go to take it, I'll just wire flapper wheel them down and then take it all together.
So it should look very nice when it's done, but for the moment we are going to carry on and figure out some way to make it look baller coming out at the angle it's at.
See what reason for the race fan? I need to take this home
Yeah, because it wouldn't fit in the car.
It probably would fit still.
By all accounts, this is finished.
Yeah.
However,
kind of.
it's nowhere near finished.
No, it's not.
Because TIG welding. But anyway, the point is, it's on. It's looking quite neat.
It's pretty cool.
It's going to flow very well, and we're now at the stage, having it all tack welded, where we can test it.
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously.
It's going to puff away. We can probably drop 5 decibels off it just because of all the gaps that'll be there. But it'll give us an idea of how much this sports kit is actually going to do.
Sport cat, centre box, and the world's smallest back box. No tight bends.
No, that's it.
The worst we've got's 45s.
Yeah.
So it should be.
It should be. It just should be. That's considerably quieter than what it was before.
Yeah,
That's the win.
perfectly reasonable. Yeah.
It's not quiet, but
It's not quiet, but it's not raspy either. It's just
it's puffing a lot, obviously.
there's a load. We've got so many. Everything on this
There's
is
no
just tack welded, so
There's basically no exhaust.
it will sound a lot smoother once it's fully welded.
I'm happy with that.
There you
Right, now you're up. Captain Tigathon, your turn. Hello. So we have one nice, clean, welded, lovely. Look at the welds. Nice, TIG welded loveliness.
Yeah. Why did it not weld that nice?
Well, I personally, I think these are nice. By my standards, these are actually.
By my standards, they're not.
Well, so somebody's bumped these gums about the standards, not being a good fan.
So wait a minute. So what happened was, you'll probably see from earlier on in the video, right? Why was there so many sparks coming off the chop saw?
Don't know. I mean, I don't.
Well, it's one of those things you just went, okay, I wonder why. That's a bit.
Chop saw must be blunt.
That's a bit strange.
Blunt chop
Right,
saw.
okay. Why is it when we go to weld it? Why is the sparks coming off of the stainless steel?
Yeah.
When I'm trying to weld it? That
I might have bought the wrong stuff. So some of this,
might have.
some of this is mild steel, because I buy it now, eBay, cool. It says stainless steel in the advert. There's actually options, and I bought the cheaper one, thinking, oh, that's nice and cheap.
Because it's not stainless.
Because it's mild steel. As a result, we're just belt and braces. We're going to hit all of it with some VHT, with the exception of the back box, which is clearly stainless, which Brian's doing a marvellous job of masking up. But
As you can probably see, we've got like, you know, one nice, reasonably nice weld, because that
I think they're all lovely.
actually stainless.
They're all lovely. That doesn't need War and Peace, Brian. That's probably plenty.
Oh no, just
That's fine.
a wee bit over, in case it's a wee bit over.
There won't be. I'm going to be so frugal with this, because...
Yeah.
Dude, stop when you get to the
Go on, you
spout.
stop.
Hell, man.
You say, don't worry, I know we'll be alright. Just take a breath, no hurry. If you wanna close your eyes and think of everything we've overcome and all the ground we've laid, crossing over endless ocean, even when we feel afraid. We're standing on the edge together.
Interesting. How have we managed to do that?
I don't know why. It must be a throttle body thing.
I don't know. I mean, because as you say, as soon as you take it above idle,
It just tones out. But yeah.
it's not out of the realms of people just building their own exhaust.
No.
To be fair, it's very easy when you've got a ramp.
Yeah, it's easy when you've got a ramp, a TIG welder, a big blade saw, a Daniel who can TIG weld, the same amount of money that an actual stainless exhaust would cost.
Yeah.
We've basically achieved nothing other than a whole lot of effort.
Made it louder.
But the point is, we made it custom, so you're not really going to get an off-the-shelf 2.5-inch full system for this with a sports cat for the money that we actually spent on it.
That's true.
Sports cat
That's
too.
true. And also, the key thing was to get rid of that very
Stupid
convoluted
180-degree bend nonsense.
That was the kind of main thing, wasn't it? It was
Yeah.
the big, massive back box and the big bend because it's a lot of weight and restriction.
We've also future-proofed it, because if you remember the 2.5-inch flange that goes to the back, will at some point, hopefully very soon, be getting met by 2.5-inch from all of the other bits from the engine. But that's due to come. Obviously, until then, patreon.com/toolsandtrack, because, you know, helpful, no ads, all that chat. And if that's not for you, like, bell, subscribe. What else?
Make your own mild steel exhausts.
Just make your own mild steel exhaust. Until next weekend, drive safe, I guess. So positive.
Episode's over.
That's it. Episode's over. That's you. It's all done. Episode's over. Go home. This is why I time lapse so much. Because all you hear when I'm actually doing things is Daniel going.
Listen to this. Sketchy. There is. No, you need to
40 minutes. I've actually had just 40 minutes of that already tonight.
There is actually a radio station in Sweden that plays that
God help them.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Yep. I bet you it's not monitored. I bet you there's not a DJ sitting there going, here we go again.
Probably not. No, they probably don't have much commentary on that station. There's
Fucking
not.
hope not.
There's not a range of songs. That is the song. That is the station.
Guess what's up next, guys? More of this. Including me
And-
slipping into insanity.
What else would you want?
Anything else?
What else would you want? At least you wouldn't get in your car and
A
go,
quick
"Oh,
clean death.
I don't like that song." You know, it's like, no, I like that song and it's on all the time. It's perfect.
Just finish the episode.
It's finished. It's already finished.
That's it. People should just go home.
The episode's finished.
Go build an exhaust. Go build your own.
Yeah.
Try and get it all the same material.
Order the same material. That's a yes.
Yes.